There is a kind of man who never runs after women, yet women cannot stop running after him. He does not play games, but he lives in a way that feels like a game to everyone watching. His presence has power, his calm has weight, his silence pulls more than other men's noise ever could. This man understands something Lao Tzu taught long ago. He knows that the strongest power does not scream, the strongest power whispers. The softest water cuts through stone because it never stops flowing. The tree bends in the storm but does not break. And the man who walks with this truth becomes untouchable. Women are drawn to such men because they do not act like the rest. Most men chase. They try to prove their worth. They speak too much, explain too much, give too much. They put women above themselves, hoping for love in return. But what they do not see is that chasing kills desire. The more you run after her, the faster she runs away. The man who understands Lao Tzu never runs, he never begs, he never sells himself. He knows that desire does not grow in noise, it grows in silence, it grows in space, it grows in the unknown. That is the mind game. It is not a trick, it is not a lie. It is a way of living that turns you into the mountain. The mountain does not chase the climber. The climber must climb or turn back. When a woman meets this man, she feels something she cannot explain. He looks at her, but he does not stare. He listens, but he does not rush to agree. He speaks less, but every word matters. She feels his strength not in what he gives her, but in what he holds back. And the more he holds back, the more she leans in. You see, women are not used to this. They are used to men competing, fighting, begging for their attention. They are used to men flooding them with words, promises, and praise. But this man is different. He is calm, he is slow, he is steady. He does not give himself away to anyone. And that difference makes her wonder. She begins to think, why does he not chase me? Why does he not need me? Why does he feel complete without me? And that thought plants the seed of pursuit, because the human heart wants what it cannot easily have. The less he runs after her, the more she runs after him. But here is the truth. This is not about pretending. This is not about acting cold to trick her. This is about building a life so full that you no longer need her to feel whole. You fill your days with purpose, with growth, with silence, with strength. You become rooted like the tree, flowing like the river, firm like the mountain. And once you live this way, women feel it. They cannot ignore it. This is the mind game, the game of not playing, the power of not chasing, the strength of not needing. The man who lives this way does not push women away. He pulls them in without effort. He pulls them in because he has something most men do not, self-possession. He belongs to himself first, and that is magnetic. Imagine two fires. One fire burns wildly, throwing sparks everywhere, begging for air, trying to survive. The other fire burns steady, strong, quiet, unshaken. Which fire do you trust? Which fire do you move toward when the night grows cold? Women move toward the steady fire. They trust it, they desire it, they pursue it. And that is the secret Lao Tzu left us. Do less, become more. Chase nothing, let everything flow toward you. When you become this man, women cannot resist, not because you chased them, but because you mastered yourself. The mind game is not between you and her. The mind game is between you and you. Win that, and you win her without even trying. The mind game begins with stillness. Most men think strength means loud words, fast action, and endless movement. But Lao Tzu showed us the opposite. Real strength hides in calm. Real power lives in silence. When you stop needing, you start attracting. When you stop chasing, you start pulling. Think about the river. It never rushes, it flows slow. Yet, over time it shapes mountains and carves valleys. It bends, it yields, it surrenders. But nothing can stop it. That is the energy you must hold. Flow, but never beg. Yield, but never break. Be soft, yet stronger than stone. When a woman feels this energy, she feels something different. She cannot place it, but she cannot escape it either. She senses that you are not tied to her. You are not waiting for her. You are not thirsty for her. And that distance makes her curious. It makes her lean in. Most men lose women because they drown them. Too many texts, too many words, too much attention. They smother her with fire and the fire dies. But the man of Tao gives air. He gives space. He lets silence speak louder than words. And in that silence desire grows. Lao Tzu wrote, "To hold, you must first open your hand." This is the truth men forget. They cling, they grasp, they hold tight, and the woman slips away. But the man who opens his hand, the man who lets go, he is the one women chase, because freedom is more attractive than pressure. You must understand this. A woman is not pulled by what you give her, she is pulled by what you protect in yourself. She feels drawn not to your chasing but to your stillness. She wants to know why you do not fold. She wants to know why you do not need. She wants to know what makes you whole. This is why women pursue such men nonstop. Not because the man tries, not because the man plays tricks, but because he has stepped into a rare energy. He has become the man who walks alone yet never feels lonely. The man who can share his world but never begs someone to enter it. This energy unsettles her. It makes her heart restless. It makes her question her own power. She is used to being the one chased. She is used to being the prize. But now, for the first time, she feels like the climber facing the mountain. The mountain does not bend down. She must climb or walk away. And when she climbs, her desire only grows, because effort creates value. The harder she works for his presence, the deeper she values it. The more he holds his ground, the more she respects his strength. The more he stays rooted, the more she bends toward him. But you must be careful. Many men hear this and try to fake it. They pretend to be calm while they burn inside. They act like they don't care, but their eyes betray them. That is not the way women feel when it is real. They know when a man is acting. They know when silence is a mask. The true mind game is not pretending, it is becoming. It is the work of building yourself until you truly no longer chase. You do not fake peace, you earn it. You do not pretend strength, you live it. And when you do, women cannot resist, because truth always reveals itself. So how do you start? You begin by letting go. Let go of the hunger for attention. Let go of the need for approval. Let go of the chase. Turn inward. Build yourself. Fill your days with purpose. Strengthen your body. Train your mind. Guard your silence. Once your world is full, you will not need to run after anyone. And that is when the shift happens. That is when women feel your power. That is when they stop being the ones chased and start being the ones chasing you. Because they see a man they cannot control. A man they cannot shake. A man they cannot forget. The fire that burns steady always outlasts the fire that burns wild. Be that steady fire. And the world, including women, will gather around your warmth. The mind game grows deeper when you understand space. Women desire what feels rare. They chase what feels valuable. And value is born from scarcity. When you give too much of yourself, too quickly, too often, you kill mystery. You erase the hunger. But when you hold back, you make her wonder. Lao Tzu said, "The wise man is one who knows what he does not know." This truth applies to desire. Do not explain all of yourself. Do not reveal every thought, every dream, every plan. Keep silence as your ally. Keep mystery as your shield. The less she knows, the more she imagines. And the more she imagines, the more she pursues. Most men rush to prove themselves. They want her to see everything at once, their humor, their kindness, their ambition. But in this rush, they lose power. They give away the weight of their presence. She gets full too quickly, and desire fades. But the man of Tao never rushes. He moves like the seasons, slow, natural, steady. A woman cannot stop thinking about a man she cannot fully read. His silence plays in her mind. His calm unsettles her. His distance becomes a puzzle she cannot solve. And the human heart cannot resist puzzles. It must try to understand. It must try to reach. It must try to win. This is the power of restraint. Restraint is not weakness. Restraint is control. It shows that you belong to yourself. It shows that your emotions do not rule you. It shows that you are guided by vision, not impulse. And that is what separates you from other men. When you master restraint, you do not chase. You choose. You do not beg. You allow. You do not cling, you release. And when you release, women cling harder, because freedom creates the deepest bond. The one who can walk away at any moment holds the strongest power. Think of water again. Water never grabs, water never forces, it flows, yet it shapes the land itself. It carves stone, it moves mountains, it creates valleys. Water is gentle but unstoppable. That is the way of a man who follows Lao Tzu. He does not push, he does not demand. He flows, but nothing can resist him. When she sees that you flow, when she feels that you bend but do not break, she starts to respect you. Respect becomes attraction. Attraction becomes pursuit. And pursuit becomes obsession. She does not chase you because you play games. She chases because she senses you are not available for everyone. She senses you are rare. You must understand, men who chase women become common. Men who beg for love become forgettable. Men who stand still, rooted in purpose, become unforgettable. This is why she thinks about you when you are not around. This is why she checks her phone, wondering if you will message. This is why she tells her friends, "There's something about him I can't explain." But the truth is simple. You gave her what no one else gave her: space. You let her feel your silence. You let her feel your absence. You let her feel the weight of not being needed, and that weight turns into desire. Do not confuse this with arrogance. This is not about thinking you are better. This is not about looking down on women. This is about walking your path so clearly that nothing pulls you off it. You are not rejecting her. You are protecting yourself. You are not ignoring her. You are respecting your energy. And that respect makes her respect you more. Women want men who stand like mountains. A mountain does not move to please the climber. The climber must rise. The climber must work. And the higher she climbs, the more she values every step. That is how pursuit works. That is how desire grows. That is how women chase not. And here is the most important truth. Once you live this way, you no longer care if she chases. You no longer need her pursuit to feel powerful. You no longer wait for her attention to feel whole. Because you have already won the deeper game. The game of the self. The mind game ends where it began with you. Women do not chase you because of tricks. They chase because you have become the rare man who no longer chases. You belong to yourself. You live with calm. You walk with purpose. You radiate strength without needing to speak it. That is the power Lao Tzu revealed. He taught that when you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. This is the root of attraction. Most men compete with each other for women's eyes. They fight for approval. They measure themselves against others. But the man of Tao does not compare. He does not compete. He simply is. And in being himself, he becomes untouchable. He no longer bends for attention. He no longer breaks for validation. He no longer runs for love. He walks in silence, and silence follows him like a crown. Women feel this silence. They feel it in their bones. It is not emptiness. It is fullness. A fullness they want to taste. This is why women chase. Not because you give them lines. Not because you show them wealth. Not because you play hard to get. They chase because they sense the one thing they rarely feel from men: peace. You are the calm fire in a world of noise. You are the steady river in a world of storms. When you reach this place, you do not push women away. You invite them to rise. Your energy says, I do not need you to complete me. But if you come into my world, you must bring something real, not beauty alone, not charm alone, but truth, depth, essence. That invitation flips the game. Most men try to earn women, but this man makes women earn him, not with tricks, not with tests, but with presence, with stillness, with being himself without apology. And that is the rarest thing of all. She begins to think differently around you. She questions her own value. She checks her own steps. She wonders, what must I do to be chosen by him? That thought is the seed of pursuit. Once planted, it grows. It keeps her awake at night. It makes her return again and again. But here is the deepest truth. Once you master this way, you no longer need her chase. You are no longer hungry for her pursuit. You are no longer moved by her attention. Because you have built a fortress inside yourself. Your solitude has become peace. Your silence has become power. And when you reach this level, the chase never ends, because women sense it. They sense the man who is rare. They sense the man who cannot be bent. They sense the man who will walk away without fear. And that man becomes unforgettable. So hear me now. Stop chasing. Stop begging. Stop running after shadows. Turn inward. Build yourself. Live with purpose. Move with silence. Flow like water. Stand like a mountain. And when you do, women will pursue you non-stop. Not because you tricked them, not because you fooled them, but because you became the man Lao Tzu spoke of. A man aligned with himself. A man who chases nothing. A man who draws everything. That is the mind game. That is the way. That is the inner citadel.